Welcome to the theTokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is December 7th, 2024.
In 2017, young journalist Shiori Ito accused TV journalist Noriyuki Yamaguchi of raping her, sparking Japan's #MeToo movement and leading to threats and online trolling. She relocated to London and worked on a documentary and memoir with filmmaker Anna Akvilin titled Black Box Diaries, delving into the legal battle and Japan's outdated rape laws. Following screenings at a number of international film festivals, Ito aims to screen the film in Japan, depicting her investigative skills and emotional struggles. The documentary, featuring hotel security footage of Yamaguchi with an incapacitated Ito, has resonated with audiences worldwide, encouraging others to share their stories and raising awareness about sexual assault. Ito plans to continue spreading awareness of sexual assault despite anticipating negative judgment from her countrymen. Peace, Japan's oldest bottle-fed polar bear, is turning 25 this week. She was raised by zookeepers after being separated from her mother and has been adored by visitors at Tobe Zoological Park. Zookeeper Atsuhiro Takaichi has cared for Peace since birth, isolated from her mother since mauling her brother to death. Takaichi raised Peace in his own home to protect her from loneliness, while keeping her away from his own family to protect her from human-carried diseases. Tobe Zoo will celebrate her birthday with a frozen cake with apples, her favorite treat. Japan plans to provide defense equipment to the Philippines, Indonesia, Mongolia, and Djibouti as part of its official security assistance to similarly aligned countries. The Official Security Assistance, or OSA, grant aid for fiscal 2024 will total 5 billion yen, with specific equipment earmarked for each country based on their security needs. Japan aims to help recipient countries strengthen their defense capabilities in response to security concerns, particularly China's assertive military actions in the Asia-Pacific region. The Philippines, in particular, is set to receive radar equipment to address China's increasing military presence in the South China Sea due to territorial disputes. The Japanese government plans to generate 20 gigawatts of electricity, equivalent to the output of 20 nuclear reactors, using thin and bendable perovskite solar cells by fiscal 2040. The Industry Ministry considers next-generation solar cells key in expanding renewables to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Since Japan is a major producer of iodine, a primary material for perovskite solar cells, it can create a stable supply chain for economic security. The introduction of perovskite solar cells in Japan has been hindered by challenges such as durability and cost competition, with full implementation not expected until the 2030s. Consumers in Japan will face higher grocery bills as food makers plan to increase prices on almost 4,000 items between January and April next year. Research firm Teikoku Databank found that prices will rise on over 1,000 items in January alone, with a continued upward trend throughout the year. The price hikes are attributed to increased raw material costs, distribution expenses, and higher personnel costs. By year-end 2024, 12,520 food items are expected to see price increases, down about 60% from the previous year. Liquor and beverage products, bread products, and processed foods will be among the items with higher prices come early 2025. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department and other sources have revealed that at least 100,000 customers' personal information, including credit card details, was stolen from 11 e-commerce websites in Tokyo. Unauthorized programs tampered with websites, allowing attackers to remotely access and steal customer data. Major companies, including Tully's Coffee and Japan Fisheries Association, were affected. The operators were unaware of the damage for over 3 years, leading to tens of thousands of information leaks. Authorities suspect overseas criminal groups may be behind the attacks and are analyzing IP addresses for clues. Information security experts recommend that companies regularly update security measures to prevent such breaches. The end of November witnessed around 100 ninja gathered in central Tokyo for a tour of the birthplaces of 2 major ninja schools. The participants, dressed in ninja attire, walked 14 kilometers through various tourist spots, allowing foreign tourists to take photos. The event was organized by the Shinobi no Sato Iga Koka Ninja Council to promote the cities of Iga and Koka and to please ninja fans. Led by Mie University professor Yuji Yamada, the group visited locations such as Kanda's Surugadai district and Tsukiji Hongwaiji Temple before ending the tour at Hatonomori Hachiman Jinja Shrine in Shibuya Ward. First conducted in 2014, the tour had a hiatus during the coronavirus pandemic. One participant, a 53-year-old woman, expressed her appreciation about the historical connections between the tour locations and the ninja schools by Professor Yamada. 2 Japanese individuals have been included in the BBC 100 Women 2024 list, released this week by the British public broadcaster. Comedian Naomi Watanabe is recognized for her influence, breaking down barriers in comedy and promoting body positivity. Yumi Suzuki, a plaintiff in a forced sterilization lawsuit, was also honored for her legal battles against the Japanese government for social rights. Other notable figures on the list include U.S. track star Allison Felix and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Nadia Murad, who brought attention to the abuse suffered by Yazidi women in Iraq. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law in a late-night address to protect the country from North Korea and eliminate anti-state elements. However, lawmakers voted to block the move, leading to the withdrawal of troops. Yoon, facing corruption scandals and political challenges, had blamed North Korea and the opposition for the need for military rule. The decision to impose martial law was soon reversed following pressure from the National Assembly and mass televised protests. Martial law, last used in South Korea in 1979, allows the military to rule during emergencies and suspend civil rights. The move by President Yoon has drawn major international attention, including from Japan. And in other Korea-related news, a Chinese national residing in California, Chang Hua-wen, was arrested for assisting North Korea in obtaining restricted weapons and military technology in preparation for an attack on South Korea. Wen allegedly conspired with North Korean officials to smuggle prohibited items into the United States and establish an export company in Texas to procure firearms and ammunition for shipment to North Korea. A search of his home revealed ammunition, chemical detection equipment, and listening device detection tools intended to be shipped to North Korea. If convicted, Wen faces up to 20 years in prison for violating the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. 16 Japan-born crested ibises have been transferred to Beijing Zoo after completing a month-long quarantine. The birds were born in a breeding program on Sado Island in Niigata Prefecture and were handed over to China in October under a bilateral agreement. The crested ibises are designated as a national natural treasure in Japan and became extinct in the wild in the country in 2003. The birds will be raised with 23 other crested ibises already at Beijing Zoo. Both Japan and China are working on expanding exchanges in various fields, including breeding endangered species, to stabilize bilateral relations. A member of the municipal assembly of the city of Tsu in Mie Prefecture stated during a council meeting that children have neither rights nor obligations. Takeshi Okamoto made his comment during a discussion on creating policies for children by March 2025. Okamoto questioned the idea of respecting the personality and rights of children, expressing the perspective that children do not have rights or obligations. He clarified his stance in a later interview, stating that rights and personality are things that need to be developed, and that basic human rights are inherent at birth. Okamoto said his questioning was intended to provoke serious thought on the concept of children's rights. Bank of Japan policymaker Toyoaki Nakamoto's comments have sparked speculation about a potential third rate hike in less than a year. He noted that Japan's economy, while recovering moderately, is still showing signs of weakness due to slow rebounding investment at small and medium-sized firms and increasingly thrifty consumers. Nakamoto emphasized the importance of continuing wage hikes for future rate discussions, especially considering economic slowdowns in China and other countries. He believes it is the right time for the central bank to adjust its monetary easing program carefully, with any action dependent on Japan's economic progress. A recent study by research firm Teikoku Databank reveals that Japanese izakaya pubs are experiencing a difficult period, with a rise in bankruptcies in 2024. The data shows that 203 izakaya have declared bankruptcy by November of this year, the highest number in the last 15 years. Factors such as changes in consumer spending habits, increased costs for alcoholic beverages, food, and labor, as well as inflation and rising living expenses due to a weakened yen, are contributing to the financial struggles of pub owners. This uncertain situation may worsen before improving, necessitating adjustments to overcome these challenges. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force plans to acquire 23 MQ-9B Sea Guardian surveillance drones by fiscal year 2032. The first drone is set to be introduced in fiscal year 2028, with deployment sites yet to be decided. This plan is part of the Defense Build-Up Program to enhance surveillance capabilities and offset manpower losses. The drones are not expected to carry weapons and will focus on monitoring foreign military movements at sea. The JMSDF has been testing the drones since May 2023 and confirmed their performance for surveillance tasks. The cost per Sea Guardian is around $80 million and has been used by the Japan Coast Guard since 2022. A Saudi Arabian diplomat in Japan is facing charges for groping a woman at a Tokyo hostess bar. The incident occurred in July, with the case set to be referred to prosecutors in December. The diplomat allegedly touched the woman's breasts at the bar in the Roppongi district. He denied the accusations and, after inciting diplomatic immunity, left the police station. The Saudi embassy confirmed he is no longer employed there and has returned to his country. This is not the first case of a foreign diplomat in Japan being involved in such criminal activity, as was seen with a Singaporean diplomat earlier this year.
That brings us to the end of news items for the week ending December 7th. These stories and more you can read at theTokyoBill.com. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.